I got a feeling I'm about to get put on. I got a feeling that something finna take off. I got a feeling, and it won't be too much longer. Got a feeling coming up on the
Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of Unpopular Honesty, the home of brutal honesty in real hip hop music. I am Cornbread Capone, and today I'm sitting here with my brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy to get back to talking to him, you know what I'm saying, because I miss our conversations, because we always have a good conversation. If you don't know who I'm talking about Big Chuck. What's going on, Big Chuck?
Peace, King. Peace to the gods, peace to the earths, all the family, praise be to the Most High, we in here enjoying life, appreciate you having me back on the program.
Yes, sir.
Always a pleasure to be here with One Man Entertainment. You better believe that.
Yeah, first thing I want to ask you, the impact of Frankie Beverly. Frankie Beverly, rest in power.
Rest in power. Definitely peace to the God, peace to the ancestor. Frankie meant so much to so many people. Definitely, and I was just telling you, I really hadn't even, taken time yet to kind of grieve Frankie, man. Moving and shaking and doing whatnot, man. Handling my family and you doing the same. Everybody's busy, on this globe, spinning round and round, traveling through space, man. But Frankie is now our ancestor, and he's in the space above us. You better believe that, because let me tell you, the music that he made could only have been given, down from aliens, man. Because the music that he's blessed us with over the years, he could drop this stuff today, and you still be looking like, damn, this jamming, man. Who is this? Where you got that from? Right?
Yeah, the backyard cookout music, the family reunion music, the music that everybody remembers. I mean, I know I remember it because my people used to play it religiously when I was young. And so when you get older and you hear those songs that take you back to your childhood, it hits different. It's special to you. At least it's special to me. You know what I'm saying? Because these records, it's records that I roll with, every Sunday. Sometime, at some point during every Sunday, I try to play old school. And within that old school, you can find Frankie Beverly and Nate.
That's for sure.
Because
That's
you
for
have
sure.
Too many records that could fit in the middle of that. So
that's for sure. We played them at it didn't even take a special occasion, just to be honest. You get up early on a Sunday morning and you hear Frankie Beverly banging out a trunk just because, you know what I mean? That music just uplift you, man. It took your body and your mind and your spirit, just somewhere else, you know what I mean? It just kind of, elevated you, man. What can you say about listening to a song that you maybe even could consider it a sad song, but it made you feel good at the same time? I mean, that's the kind of vibe that I always got from Frankie's music, man. I always felt good when I listened to it. And, like I said, man, I'm just, I'm happy he's an ancestor now. He doesn't have to suffer through anything that he had going on in his life. Shoot, I wish I would have been, a part of his farewell tour, you know what I mean? Wearing my white, and doing my dance in the crowd, my shuffle, you know what I mean? Because everybody from, the East to the Midwest to the, to the West and the South, and even overseas understood, you know, the impact of Frankie Beverly Mays. And what was your favorite song?
My favorite one is After the Morning After.
After the morning after.
Yeah.
After the night before. Yeah. Yeah.
And your favorite song was?
I told you earlier that it was the golden time of day, and I'm gonna stick to that. Truly, you know, let me tell you, it was kind of ritualistic sometimes when I would even listen to this song. But just imagine, right, being on the beach at about 7 a.m., right? Between 6:30 7 a.m. and the sun is coming up and you got that song playing. And you sitting in your nice beach chair and you got a cigar going, you know, and you listening to the golden time of day, you know. That's the golden time of day. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a vibe. It's just a vibe, man. You know, so that's mine personally. Yeah.
Man. Well, there's so much going on in the world.
Yeah.
The other most dominant thing you can probably find in the news cycle right now is the downfall of Sean Combs. And I haven't said anything on this situation because I've just been kind of sitting back watching, paying attention. But I can be very brutally honest as to what's going on. Okay. First of all, it's clear that he pissed somebody off. He pissed somebody off, I guess, who probably didn't want to be pissed off because bad things have been happening to him and bad enough to the point to where now he is incarcerated. So now he's looking at all these charges. Now it's looking like they talking about, you know, this is looking Epstein-like. This is looking like also it's not over, like because more is going to come out of this situation.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, I saw a post yesterday and I laughed hard, but I was like, shit, they should know that now already. But he was like, what are y'all going to do when you find out that your favorite, you know, musician, artist, athlete, politician has been involved in this fuck shit? Because, you know, eventually it's going to come to the light, people who are involved and people who have been involved in this type of activity. You know what I'm saying? I was like, but now it's different levels because you're talking about politicians, you're talking about athletes, and then you're talking about, you know, entertainers. Entertainers, I feel, probably won't catch the brunt of nothing because a lot of people, I mean, especially with rappers, I mean, we got to be honest. A lot of people are comfortable listening to fruitcakes and suspects because they've been doing so for years, no matter what evidence you put in their face. So I don't think that that's going to bother them. Politicians, that's a little bit different. Athletes, that's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Because of, I guess, the pay rate, the money, and you know, politicians, they face scrutiny because they're supposed to be politicians. But then when you have politicians within the mix of this fuck shit, it makes people look at you like, whoa. Because we can't leave out the fact that New York City politicians have been resigning since this boy has been incarcerated. We cannot overlook the fact that Kevin Lyles stepped down from Warner Brothers the day he got indicted. And everybody's looking at this funny. They saying Jay ain't even in the country right now. And the music industry is pin drop silent since this shit been going on. That lets me know that there's way more people involved and they are nervous as shit because they could get a knock on the door or a call on the phone and it could be the fucking feds.
Well, a lot of these motherfuckers are already getting calls from the feds, so
right.
It ain't even no need acting like, you know, they not getting calls that we don't know about, right? That they're not going to talk about, that they can't talk about. They've already started signing contracts, right?
Right.
They already just started chirping in the background, giving up names, whispering about who doing this and who doing that. You know, everybody dropping names right now. Believe that. Because when the alphabet boys get to shaking trees, you know, knees get to shaking, get to trembling and shit. Motherfuckers get to, you know, cause them folks got a lot of power. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of power. And, you know, if you're not in position, if you don't understand what's going on, you know, you'll have to bend to that power, you know, and if you've been influenced or you've been participating, right? Then yeah, you church mouse right now. Rat pissing on cotton louder.
Oh, it's quiet than a motherfucker right now. Niggas ain't saying nothing because everybody is kind of just waiting the outcome of this situation with. Some people say they know it already. I don't know it. I'm just kind of looking, watching, paying attention. I'm also paying attention to what's not being said. They, you know, they talk about what they found in the house. We all know what they found because they put it all in the media. But they're not talking about everyone who's on them tapes.
So what we talking about, Brad?
They're not talking about everyone that's on those tapes. Those tapes, we know that they've been watching them since they got them.
Look, I ain't with that. I ain't with no bullshit. Cause look.
I want to know who all on the tape.
Look, I mean,
you know, that's.
I'm saying, if you got some information, you know, I mean,
I'm just paying attention.
I mean, maybe you'll bless the audience by not saying what need to be said, but saying what don't need to be said, but not saying.
I'm saying it now. I'm saying, look at what they're not talking about. They saying they have hours upon hours of footage of these freak-offs. Okay. But they're not telling you who's all on there.
Who you think on there?
Well, because his parties is a who's who of people. It's
who
not
you think on there, Brad? Who you think on there? Who you think on there, Brad?
Politicians
Man,
on there?
hold up.
I don't know what politicians
who you think on there?
I have never saw the tapes. But what I'm saying is,
what the street saying? What the street saying is on who on there, Brad?
I don't know who's on there, but what I'm telling you, his parties are occupied by people from different walks of life. So that means you got you got actors, actresses, you got models, you got athletes, you got entertainers, you have politicians, you have preachers, you have all these different people. So now
hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Yeah. So
hold up, nigga. Hold up.
Yeah.
Now, it's one key word that stuck out with all of them.
And that's probably preachers.
Preachers.
Yeah. It's some
preachers.
Preachers. People of the cloth. People who are supposed to be, I guess, walking under the light of the Lord, essentially.
Let me
attend these parties.
Let me say something, man. Let me say something, right? Let me say something. We all fucked up out here. We all done some things that we wish we could take back, you know. But some people sign up. Some people sign up to be perfect. And I don't give a fuck what nobody say. When you sign up to be a preacher, you sign up to be a perfect motherfucker. Period.
Because you got to walk under that light.
Because you got to walk underneath that shit. And I don't give a damn. People will say, you know, well, the preacher is a human. He's just a man like me. Okay. That's a bit. So you telling me there's not a standard in your books, the book that you read, that you love? There's not a standard in there, right? Last time I checked, there was a standard. Yeah. So You know, these people out here claiming to be leaders, you know, whether they're of the cloth or whether they're a politician or whether they are some other type of community leader, man. You know, we really have to take it up to the next level when it comes to some type of moral compass, you know.
And that's what, and the reason why I'm looking at that and I'm saying, okay, they're not saying these people and that, and I think I know why. Because for one, if you make it all public, boy, a lot of stuff gonna get messed up. You know, you talking about people, bottom line is gonna be affected. Your household gonna be affected. A lot of people gonna be getting divorced, breaking up. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know about what's going on with these tapes or what you was doing in these tapes. It's gonna fuck up a lot of stuff. And I want to bring this point up because somebody asked me this the other day. It was like, does this ruin hip hop? And I was like, well, one person don't control hip hop. So this don't affect hip hop. It exposes a lot about certain aspects of hip hop. But does it fuck it up? Does it ruin it?
Well, hell no.
No.
Hell the fuck no. Let me tell you why it don't affect hip hop, because hip hop is the people. Hip hop is the people. And this brother got caught up on some business shit. Trust him, some personal shit. Right? This don't have nothing to do with the music at all. The only thing that it has to do with the music is that more than likely the people that groom Puffy, that's what we're not talking about, right?
Something else we're not talking about.
The people that groomed Puffy, what about that?
We're
not putting that on the table.
Yeah,
right?
Nobody mentioning that.
You think this man that came from where he came from, do your research, right? How do you think he got in position where he got to? People, you know, we've talked in the past about industry plants.
Yeah.
All I can say is that from the outside looking in, it's a lot more that was pre-Puffy, P. Diddy, Dr. Love, whatever the hell, you know, he didn't call himself so many things. Because when you get in the environment of these high power, I'm just gonna say it, these high power Europeans, when you get in the midst of these high power Europeans, they're gonna give you information, they're gonna mess with your head, they're gonna give you stuff that's gonna turn your life around. And when you start operating from a bird's eye view and you got a whole bunch of money and you think and they telling you, they feeding you that this money is going to, make you more than who you are. Because right now we see who you are. They showing you who you are by the way they treating you, Diddy. They showing you who you are. And it's unfortunate that they helped you get in position and played you and used you, my brother, used you and your talents, your mind, your resources to further they, pleasures and their power and the things that they trying to do and manipulate in the world, right? But, that's probably a whole nother conversation. I'm going to leave that at that. It's just unfortunate that we not, nobody's talking about how he became and got in a position of where he is. And, hurt people. Think about that. Y'all ain't never heard that before? Hurt people. Okay? It's going to get passed from one to the next. And whatever somebody did to him, he's going to pass it on to the next.
Something else I wanted to ask you about too, because this past September 13th made 28 years since the passing of Tupac Shakur. And I wanted to ask you about the impact and the legacy of Tupac Shakur even 28 years later, because that is worthy of conversation. For me, anybody that knows me personally knows that Tupac is still on my top 5, and he will remain there for a lot of reasons. The relevance in the shit that he was making in 95 and 96 still stands in 2024. He is still the most talked about, most listened to, most streamed artist from the 90s decade. The awards, the accolades from everything that he is attached to, his image, his likeness, his music, his interviews, the dozens of documentaries. You know what I'm saying? That impact is still there. When I saw the Kendrick performance at the Pop-Out concert, it reminded me of Tupac's concert in 96. And it made me say, whoa, Kendrick did some special shit, but I ain't seen nothing this special since Death Row. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
And I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? It made me, after I finished watching the Pop-Out, I went back and watched Pop concert. You know what I'm saying? Because that's that influence is undeniable. The impact is undeniable. I want to ask you,
Kendrick Lamar. You know, peace to the God.
No doubt.
Peace to the God, man. Kendrick Lamar is, you know, if y'all have never seen the movie Malcolm X, you know, the movie Malcolm X, you know, there was a famous little part in Malcolm X, and they would put it in the trailers and all of that. And it was when Malcolm X and the Fruit of Islam rolled up on the police station. They marched up on the police station, and Malcolm went in the building. Well, went up the steps of the building, or went up to the building to talk to the policeman, and they was basically begging Malcolm to get all of these brothers off the street, all of these militant, ready to go to war brothers off the street. And Malcolm put his hand up. That's all he did. He put his hand up, right? And he pointed.
And everybody moved.
And everybody moved, right? And marched in that direction that he was pointing. It wasn't a gun. He was pointing his fingers. See, this, you know, typically mean a gun, but, you know, maybe that was symbolic, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe that was symbolic. But he pointed his hand in this direction, and everybody turned around and marched out on his command. And that's how I feel about Kendrick Lamar right now. If Kendrick Lamar did this, everybody in motherfucking LA would go, oh shit, God. And fucking roll out and tear some shit up, or fix some shit, or build something, or whatever, right? Not even necessarily negative or destructive, but also influentially to the point to where it could create something new for the culture. So Kendrick Lamar right now has a lot of power, you know, past the music. There's more than hip hop has to be more. It have to be more. That's how I feel about Kendrick right now.
I was going to ask you about the impact of Tupac. 28 years later.
28 years later, I feel like Kendrick Lamar is Tupac. That's how I feel about Tupac. I feel like because in parallel, Tupac was a revolutionary, right? So when that movie came out, when did that movie drop? The Malcolm X movie. That movie
92 or 93?
So when Tupac came out in that era, and then by the time he was murdered in 96, he had the same type of power in LA.
He did.
That is ultimately what I'm saying.
He did.
That is the influence that, has, and just to take Tupac into the new era, I think that Kendrick has, because you brought Kendrick up.
Yeah.
So I'm just bringing the parallel together, right? So that's how I feel about Tupac. Tupac is always a revolutionary for me. That's who he was. Who could shoot a cop? Who could shoot a cop now?
He's the only one that did it.
I'm just saying, man, like, stop playing, man.
Yeah, it's only one. It can only be one. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking playing. Who's shooting cops? Like, nobody's shooting cops and then recording after that. Who doing that? Why? Because he understood something. He was only able to do that because he understood something. And this is the thing. You have to put yourself in position. And I feel like the information that's in hip hop right now could really be elevated, man. What you think about that? The impact like of Tupac's like lyrics and versus the lyrical content of today.
The lyrical content of today, it's a far cry from what it used to be, which is why I'm still listening to 90s stuff, because they don't really talk about much today. Not when you compare it to somebody like Tupac, who had a diverse catalog. He had music for the streets, then he had music that'll make you think. He had music for the girls. He had music that inspired you. Of course, he had the records for the women to keep your head up. The Brenda's Got a Baby, the Dear Mama type records. Then he had the street stuff. And he had the hits. He had the stuff that make you want to party. And he had the stuff that make you want to, look inside yourself and do better. That's what I feel like when I think about records like Unconditional Love. And then you got, it's all kinds of ways Pac went. I mean, Never Had a Friend Like Me, and Staring at the World Through My Rear View.
You got a favorite Pac record? Since we on the topic of favorite records and stuff, since I brought it up with Frankie Beverly.
Favorite Pac record? Yeah. I got a favorite album.
Shout out to Maze, man. Shout out to Maze. Man, peace. Look, let me tell y'all, Crazy Band, just real quick, and we going back to that. Look, Crazy Band, shout out to Maze. I know y'all even without Frankie's beautiful voice and those lyrics and all that, Frank, the band is still crazy. So just shout out to y'all, man. Peace to y'all. I know it's probably hard, man, but back to Pac.
My favorite Pac album would probably be All Eyes on Me. And that's because that album came out the day after my birthday. I had just turned 16. This is back when the albums would come out on Tuesdays. I was attending Westbrook 9 at the time. And anybody knows that area at the time, we had a record store on 4th Street called BJ's. The place that sits where BJ's is now is called, I forget what it's called, but it's a place where you can go pay your phone bill. But anyway, that's where the record store was. So during school shit, I just left school, left the campus and went over there to go buy that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And that album will always represent a party to me. I remember vividly Chris Henry would come to the curve and play it.
I was just looking at Chris on your wall.
Yeah.
It's funny.
And he would play that. He would pull up playing that, you know what I'm saying? And everybody had it.
Shout out to the family, Hard Hitter.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to the whole family, man. I still want to do that thing, man. I hope y'all bless me to be able to do that. Holla at me, sis.
Yeah, man, because that needs to be, the stories need to be told, and I'm going to be trying to facilitate some documentaries myself, because it is some stories of some people from this area that need to be told. You know what I'm saying? I'm just waiting to get mine out the way. But before we leave, do you have anything you would like to say to anybody or anything you would like to say at all?
Man, look, always, one man records, you know, man, always respect, peace and love, the cornbread, you know, Sarah, you know, the whole production team, everybody that have to do, with one man records, you know, keep doing your thing. Can't wait till the next, you know, project drop. Appreciate you having me on the show today. Always want to shout out, you know, Chidi brand, not just a brand, but it's definitely a movement. You know, keep the Most High, you know, number one, and in your life, you know, whatever that means to you personally. Um, Shouts out to Alive and Free, always and forever. It's alive and free. And, you know, shout out to my own brand, Chameleon Marketing. And we're gonna do it like that, man. Again, we got more uh, products coming out. Keep your eyes open for all types of things coming in the future. But that's it, baby, man. We're gonna end it on that.
And on behalf of Big Chuck, I am Cornbread Capone. This is Unpopular Honesty, the home of brutal honesty and real hip hop music. And until next time, everybody, peace and love, because that's what the world needs in a major way. Peace and love.